Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's GentooMan here, also known as Rainy, and today I was really thinking, about more scary stories that I had, because I've noticed you guys really like those ones, and I've come to realize I have way too many experiences that I just can't explain in my life, so here's another one of those today. Let's hop right into it. So this story time takes place a good couple years ago, and so my family really likes to go camping, right? It's kind of a big thing in my family. Everyone really likes being outdoors, well, except for my mom, but that's not important. Everyone really likes being outdoors and going to camping and doing outdoor stuff. So we used to do it a lot as a family, like as people got older, like as kids got older. It's been a little harder to get everyone together to do it. We used to do it a ton, like every long weekend, every holiday. That's usually what we would do. We had this specific campground that we would usually go to. It was kind of our go-to spot. We all loved it there. And it was just a great time. Every time I always look forward to it, seeing my family, hanging out with my cousin, who's like one of my best friends, which is great. But yeah, it was always such a good time. And this place that we'd go to, there was just so much to do there. Like it was like a ring of campsites, but in the middle, there was like this big forest that we'd go play in. And there was this like river nearby. And the river was a lot of fun because, if you're like me, you can get hours of entertainment from just picking up rocks and throwing them in a body of water. One thing about this river is nobody ever made it to the other side of it. We tried multiple times to just walk through it or walk on rocks across to the other side, but nobody ever made it to the other side, which was kind of strange. But yeah, we had so much fun at this campsite. It was a great time every single time we went. Now, I'd mentioned this before about myself, but also my cousin. Both of us were very much into horror and scary things even when we were younger, so we were very excited every single night for when it would get dark and we'd have a fire after dinner, because I don't know if you guys also do this, but that was typically when you would tell ghost stories when camping. Which ghost stories means just any scary stories around the fire, So I remember on this particular instance, my dad was telling us a story, and they'd gotten us pretty good in the past with some stories, but my dad was telling a story this time, and he had decided to tell us the story about the Goatman. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of the Goatman, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I think there's a couple viral memes about it. There's a good creepypasta about it as well. It's called Anansi's Goatman Story, I believe. But if you want to know more about it, maybe Cryptic Corvid will make a video about it. No, sorry. Anyways, let's continue. So anyways, my dad's telling this story, and he's pretty much telling us about this Goatman thing that lives in the woods, and it just is just kind of this creature that nobody really knows much about it, and he's telling us about how it would take kids and stuff. From what I understand, if you live in the U.S. or Canada and have been camping and have been told scary stories or anything, you probably have heard of the Goatman. My dad was telling us that when he was a kid and he was in Scouts, that he would be telling these stories around the campfire with his friends, or someone else would be telling them, and they were actually banned from telling Goatman stories after a while because kids actually started to go missing and nobody knew why. Whether this was actually true, I cannot confirm, because that was probably a solid 20-ish years before I was existing. And this was a good amount of time ago. I was probably about 10 or 11 when this happened, so I don't have a ton of the details still left in my mind. But I just remember my dad told this story very well, and he got me and my siblings and my cousins all pretty good. And then after that, we were kind of rattled, but the night continued as normal. A couple other people told stories, and we ate a couple more snacks and stuff. We did marshmallows, and then we were off to bed. But neither me or my cousin could really shake this whole Goatman thing. We were still kind of stuck on it for whatever reason. And me and my cousin like to be different, so it got to a point when because we used to all camp in tents, right? But as my grandparents got older and stuff, they'd camp in trailers, and then some of my aunts and uncles would bring trailers. But so not a lot of people were in tents anymore. But me and my cousin wanted to hang out and be different, I guess. So we slept in a tent. So, after we put out the fire, me and my cousin went back to our tent, and we were just kind of, talking a little bit as you do, until eventually we both fell asleep. Now, before I get into the next part of the story, I do just want to say I'm not trying to spin some tall tale here, so I'm going to try and give a logical explanation as to why what happened next did happen. One, I've been known to sleepwalk. That has happened. I've woken up in really strange places around my house. And 2, my uncles and my dad really like to play pranks on us, so it's entirely possible that's what happened. But with keeping those in mind, let's continue. I fell asleep in my tent, where I was supposed to be, where I was sleeping, and I ended up waking up in the middle of the night, as I still do now, but usually when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm in the same place that I fell asleep. But that was not the case this time, because when I woke up and was all disoriented and was looking around trying to figure out where I was, I realized that I was on the other side of the river. Now, I was just really confused. I couldn't see a ton. All I could see was because the stars were pretty bright, because we weren't in the city. We were out in, the wilderness. But I was just confused. I was just wondering how I got there, what was going on, and why nobody was with me. But before I could think more into that, I become to realize that I had much more to worry about, or so I thought, because I started hearing a bunch of animal noises all around me. Because, there's a bunch of woods around me. I couldn't see into them. It wasn't that bright. So I didn't know what was coming for me. And I was even more confused because I didn't know why I was where I was. So my brain was immediately like, it's the Goatman. He's captured me. He's going to kill me. I'm fucked. I don't know what allowed me to do this because, like I said, nobody had previously been able to do this. But my only idea was just run for it through this river. So I did. I just ran into the water. I fell, and I just started swimming. I did everything I had to reach that other side, and I just ran. I made it through the water. I just ran without a second thought, trying to find the campsite in the dark. I got to the camp area, but the whole area was kind of built like the map from Slender, the 8 pages with the abandoned bathroom and everything. So I still had to find my way through all that. I was out here not particularly chilling because I thought the Goatman was after me. So I didn't know where to go, so I just hid in the bathroom for a while. I don't know how long I was there, but I just went in the bathroom and chilled there for a bit, until eventually I decided to come out and try and find my way back to the campsite, and I did. I ended up finding my way back, and I had pretty much dried off from chilling in the bathroom for an hour. So that was good, and I got back into my tent, and my cousin was just dead asleep. And I was thinking to myself, well, I'm glad he's sleeping peacefully because I'm just going to lay down here and be fearful for my life for the next remaining hours until the sun comes up. That's pretty much what I did. When you, try and sleep, but, you succeed because you do sleep, but you also feel like you haven't slept because you're, on edge about something. That's pretty much what happened. I was laying there for a long time, then I blinked and suddenly it was morning, that kind of thing. So, I woke up, my cousin woke up, we got out of the tent, we woke up to see my grandpa cooking breakfast, and we ate breakfast, and I kind of chalked it up to there's no way that happened. That was definitely a dream. That doesn't even make sense. There's no way that happened. So I kind of wrote it off. I didn't really talk about it, right? And I just kind of forgot about it as much as I could and just went about our day. We were just kind of hanging out around the site. We are going to go do a hike later, but first we decided to go swim by the river. And while we were at the river, I had just managed to stop thinking about this whole encounter until I noticed a footprint that looked exactly like my shoe. I was wearing these flip-flop sandals, whatever you call them. I was wearing them that day, but I had also worn them the night before, and I kind of just fell asleep with them on, as I often did as a child bull camping, which is strange. But I stepped into this footprint on accident, and I realized it fit exactly my shoe, going the direction that I would have ran, which is what made me realize that it probably was not a dream. Now, again, I'm not going to end this video by saying, here's proof that the Goatman is real, guys, 100% proof, caught on camera, 4K, no, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I'm just bringing you guys a spooky little experience of mine, and I hope you guys enjoyed the story. With that said, that is going to wrap this one up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. You all know the drill at this point. At least I hope you do. Thank you for all the support recently. I think I said this in my last video, but my first episode of The Cold, my audio drama, will be coming out next Friday. I'm very excited about it, so please check it out if you get the chance. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. I have things to do today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.